Welcome to Philology Maths, fighting problems one step at a time.
Welcome to Philology Maths. In this video we're going to see how to write a number as a product of its prime factors, or prime factorization. Let's have a look at an example. So the first thing we need to do is draw a tree diagram for the factors of 36. What does that mean? Well, we start by drawing two arrows and thinking of how do we write down 36 as something times something else. An easy way of doing this is writing it down as 2 times 18, because 2 times 18 gives us 36. Now we can't break 2 up anymore, but we can write down 18 as a product of two numbers, which means two numbers multiplied together. So 18 we can write down as 2 times 9. Now again, we can't break up the 2 anymore, but if we look at the 9, we can write down the 9 as 3 times 3. And now we can't break these numbers down anymore because they are all prime numbers, which means we can put them in a circle to indicate we are done with these numbers. And now we are ready to answer the question. So how do we write down 36 as a product of prime numbers? Well, we can write it down as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And another way of writing this down would be, as 2 times 2 gives us 2 squared, we can write it down as 2 squared times, and 3 times 3 gives us 3 squared, so we can write it down as 2 squared times 3 squared. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Here we've got 60. Let's draw our arrows again and think of how we write down 60 as a number times another number. Always try to see if you can write it down as 2 times another number, which in this case we can. We can write it down as 2 times 30. Let's look at the 30 now. 30 can be written down as 2 times 15. And finally, we've got 15 here. It can be written down as 3 times 5. Now notice 2, 3 and 5 cannot be broken down anymore because they are prime numbers. So we will go ahead and put them in circles to indicate just that. Now we are ready to write down the answer for 60. 60 can be written down as 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And now we can simplify this slightly by noticing that 2 times 2 can be simply written as 2 squared. Therefore the final answer is 2 squared times 3 times 5. Now let's have a look at a final example here. 126. How do we write this down as a product of two numbers? Well, we can start by writing it down as 2 times 63. Now let's look at 63. Can we write this down as 2 times another number? No, because it is an odd number. So we'll have to think of, can we write it down as 3 times another number? And the answer is yes. We can write it down as 3 times 21. Now let's look at 21. Can we write down 21 as 3 times another number? And the answer is yes. We can write it down as 3 times 7. Now notice 2, 3 and 7 cannot be broken down anymore because they are prime numbers. Therefore we'll put them in circles to indicate that. Finally, we are ready to write down that 126 is actually equal to 2 times 3 times 3 times 7. Now we can simplify this slightly by noticing that 3 times 3 can be written down as 3 squared. Therefore the final answer will be 2 times 3 squared times 7. This was a short video on writing a number as a product of its prime factors.
Have you suffered from a maths-related injury in the last 4 months?
You're in the right channel. Welcome to Philology Maths!
Yes. Okay. Ready?
This was a Prime video, not the kind that you get on Amazon Prime. La 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 la. Not that bad acoustic.